Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Bernard Hopkins, and it's the Golovkin Lemieux Media Day here in Los Angeles. And Bernard, Gennady Golovkin is a guy that was just knocking people out left and right in the division you ruled for such a long time. You know, this fight is one that fans are really excited for, but you having the extra knowledge that you have, how do you see this fight going the way David needs it to go?
Well, first, it's good to be back here on Fight Hub TV. Second, I want to let people understand that, you know, I'm passionate about the middleweight division, as I spoke in the ring and also in my career in the ring and also up on the podium. This is really significant to the history of not only two fighters, David Lemieux and Triple G, is because of the middleweight legacy from the past and leading up to my era, and now I'm watching their era. You know, to me, I use the word surreal, and I really mean that, because when I look at all 3, 4, 5 belts that's there, it's going to be there for taking for both fighters. Yes, they own them now, they represent them now, but when they get put up, when the bell ring, they up for grabs. We know that. But not only is it good for themselves personally, but it's good for not only their legacy, but it's good for boxing. It's good to see the unification of the middleweight division, and it's great for me to be here healthy and alive and part of it from A to Z part of it, and to be able to give my history shortly, briefly, to people that how significant it is for me and also for their career past October 17th in Madison Square Garden. You see the crowd here, you're here, they covering it, they're getting a lot of respect, a lot of attention. They got over 90% knockout ratio. I mean, I'm not bad, but I ain't have that much percentage. And listen, the tickets, you heard the announcement about,
almost sold out.
And we got a month and a half left. This is a big fight, man. This is a big fight, and I'm promoting it, but I'm not selling it. There is, to me, people might disagree, but there's a difference between selling something and promoting. We are promoting this fight. It's already sold, and 12,000 plus tickets been sold already with a month and maybe a week or two left. That tells you that the $50 tickets is going to be tripled by some scalpers out there. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And I know you are too.
Bernard, looking at this fight, and I like to use you as an example for a lot of these questions because you have such a broad base of knowledge. Gennady is seen as this unbeatable machine. They put him as a Goliath on stage, but you've taken on a lot of guys who said that were unbeatable, that Bernard didn't have a chance. When you look at him, what do you see that makes him vulnerable in there, given your extra knowledge?
What I see that makes him vulnerable is his undefeated record and the praises that he's getting. You can become intoxicated with all of the praises that a human being can get drunk off of. And that's really important, not only for boxing, but it's important in success. When people are success, most fall into an intoxication and they become drunk with it. They become full of themselves, and they get to believe in, which is true for the moment, but somehow they're going to believe that the guy's going to fall when he throw or think about throwing a punch, that thing's going to be this way every night. Sometimes you run into the dark horse, as I always carry that banner with dignity and pride. The dark horse. The dark horse is never respected, and really even after it's over with, it was so dark that they didn't even see it. The reality doesn't kick in until the fighter himself reached that stage in reality of, tonight wasn't my night, what happened? He got intoxicated. It's a real tricky fine line between managing the praises and justifiably deserve them, but do you feed off them in a way where you become vulnerable without even knowing it? That's what I'm hoping that Triple G is facing. That's what I'm hoping. when he gets in a battle that he somehow is not controlling. He's not overwhelming you with success. Maybe he's overwhelming you, but he's getting the worst of that overwhelming. Like I'm taking over this conversation of interview, I need Lemieux to take over that aggressive style of Triple G and neutralize it to become his negative more than been his positive. That's a task alone that only few people can accomplish long term, and that's a 12-round battle if it goes that far.
You know, I spoke to you a few weeks ago, and you mentioned that you want Gennady to challenge himself the way you challenged yourself when you went up in weight and challenged Tarver. I just found out that you're on the same plane with him. Did you maybe go up to him at all and talk to Gennady at all?
He understands. If somebody else is going to tell him, but he reads, he understands. And he's a respectful guy. Yeah. He respects my legacy. It wasn't about me on the stage. It wasn't about even me now.
Yeah.
I'm just printing light on the baby boomers who wasn't born around that time to let them know how significant that this middleweight division is. You wouldn't know about that because you're not old. You're not old, but you got the advantage because you do what you do for a living.
I got grace though, man. I got grace.
Yeah, and that's it.
Bernard, as always, thank you so much. It's great seeing you. Here with Bernard Hopkins and Marcos Villegas here in Los Angeles for the Golovkin Lemieux press conference.